What is going on, everybody? It is Mr. Banks here with another edition of Wolf Talk with my co-host, No Risk, No Premium, Chris, and we also have a special guest today, Stockrateez. Now, what we say here, we are not financial advisors. Nothing shall be taken as financial advice.
Purely
Cool.
entertainment.
Yes. Super excited. Socrates is on the cast today. I know you're creating a lot of buzz lately, pushing out a ton of education, man. That's pretty cool to see. I feel like there is a lack of education being taught on Twitter. So that's cool that you've taken that initiative to come out and like really push that forward.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you inviting me on this show.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Glad to have you. Glad to have
So
you.
for the guys who haven't been following or don't follow you yet, what kind of a style trading do you normally do?
So I am primarily a day trader.
Cool.
So I'm not looking to be in a trade for more than an hour,
Mhm.
an hour at
Yeah.
the most.
Definitely.
5-10 minutes is really my kind of my sweet spot.
Nice.
And
Okay.
yeah,
So you
I
like
just
to stay on those I call them the heart attack time frames, the ones that'll give you heart attacks. You know, those lower 1 to 5 minute time frames.
yeah. Sometimes I'm on the 1 minute. I'm not
Oof.
gonna lie.
That'll
I,
get you wanted a rush for the day, or you wanted some drama when you woke up, man. That's all you need to do is go watch a 1 minute chart all day. Oof. So
but the
kudos
thing
to you,
is,
bro.
I don't get the entry on the 1 minute. I'm looking for the entry on the 5 minute or the
Definitely.
15 minute.
Mhm.
And then I want to ride the momentum of either the 3 minute or the 5 minute. It all just depends on the day. Every
Yeah,
trade is different.
Of course. Yeah,
of
definitely.
course, absolutely.
What do
So
you oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
I was just
Justin.
gonna say you're pretty much looking for the confirmation on like the 1 and 3 minute for the to take your entry on.
Well, I'm really looking for the confirmation on the larger time frames. I want to find
Mm,
like a low risk, high reward setup on, say, maybe 15 minute, the 1 hour.
okay.
But then on the 1 minute or the 3 minute, I'm just I got an eye on it.
Yeah.
What's
Exactly.
happening on the smaller time frames. Should I cut here?
Mhm.
Should I trim here? So I can ride the momentum. I use EMAs,
Definitely.
Nice.
5, 9, 21,
Nice.
Okay.
and that's a good way to do. People always complain, oh, I took profits too early. But if you learn EMAs and you can ride the trend with the EMAs, if candle closes below the 9 EMA, in a certain trade, you might think, okay, well, now it's time to get out of the trade.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. No, that's definite. That's awesome. What do you
Absolutely.
normally you're a day trader. What do you normally trade? Like what are your favorite tickers or indexes or ETFs?
So I mainly trade S&P 500 futures, which is
Nice.
ES.
Mm,
Okay.
very
Um,
familiar.
I used to trade SPY, but I kind of migrated over to futures.
Yeah.
And I love to trade big tech, NVDA, AMD,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Chips.
Hmm.
Yeah. Google,
just super
Amazon.
liquid,
Mhm.
super liquid.
Absolutely.
I like trade some Tesla every now and then.
Tesla's always good.
Well, you get great movement on those too. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah, that's
mean, what we've noticed, like even just in our community, Justin, is like, dude, if you were to just play, I'm sorry, Tesla too, but Nvidia, as of recent, the last
hmm
like month, it's
it's
been.
been hot.
I mean, I've been really watching the last 10 months. It's like $10 swings every day, and if you're $5 out the money on a strike, you can be at a really reasonable price to have a
Mhm.
2 to 5x trade intraday, like very quickly, and
when
it's very
Nvidia
rewarding.
runs, it runs.
Uh-huh. We had someone today. We were live trading this morning. We live trade every day, but we normally live trade from the opening bell for the like first 2 hours. And one of our admins was like, "All right, watch Nvidia here. I think it's gonna go." And it's like if you looked at the 5 minute chart, it was just like it had bottomed out, and from that point, it had ran like $10. He's like, "I told you it was
Yeah,
gonna go." We were just like, "Holy shit!" We had a bunch of people like hop in for the ride up,
Nice.
and it was good, man. But yeah, it's been Nvidia is and it's very liquid. It's like an
Mhm.
Apple
hmm
liquidity with like Amazon moves.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, for something like that, I like a little bit out of the money.
Hmm.
Okay.
So then when it's ripping and running, it's ripping and running.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's good.
It's
So
probably
you
one of my favorite stocks to trade.
Okay. Nvidia.
no,
hmm
we all love Nvidia. And then ES. So when you trade ES, are you trading on like one of the like a TOS, or are you on one of the futures platforms that you could trade on?
So I trade futures on Ninja Trader
Ninja
8.
Trader. Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
But anyone interested in futures, you can trade on Thinkorswim too, or
Mhm.
Trade of 8.
I
I
know it's
wouldn't
all a
recommend
lot of
like
it's all
Findemark
different
or
brokerage
anything.
fees. It's all different brokerage fees a lot of the
Hmm.
times. I know TOS is one of the most expensive ones to play to trade
Yeah.
ES on. You could get on like a I think MT4 is like MetaTrader 4, I think, and then
Yeah, I
there's like
think it's for Forex.
oh, is that Forex? There's a
Hmm.
couple. There's a website I was on, Amp Futures, and you could. There's a few different brokers you could choose from, and they all have different brokerage prices and stuff. But TOS, I've come to find, is definitely the most expensive
Yeah,
because
Yeah,
it's. I
you
think
gotta
it's.
pay to play futures.
Yeah. No, most definitely. So you've got to have a decent sized account, especially if you're going to play on the future side. How do you like
Yeah.
that versus trading like real time hours? Which would you prefer one over the other?
So I trade the same hours that the stock market is open.
Okay.
So from 9:30 New York open
Mhm.
to 4 o'clock close. That's where the most volume is going to be. That's where all the
Mhm.
liquidity is. So anyone who trades SPY or QQQ, I'm doing the same thing you guys are doing.
Yeah.
I'm just trading futures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anyone unfamiliar, SPY QQQ is the same as ES and NQ,
Mhm.
except for futures just they just run a little longer, and the vehicle is a little different, but you're looking at the same exact chart.
Yeah, they move like pretty much the same to each other,
Like
like
Hmm.
perpendicular.
to the tick.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
ES is pretty much just like 10 times SPY, just to keep the numbers. I know it's not exact, but
Yeah, exactly.
very similarly, it's almost 10x too.
Hmm.
And then like same thing with the S&P 500, just playing like SPX, and usually the SPX options are about 10x, typically
Hmm.
10x the price of like SPY would
Hmm.
be. So
Now
yeah,
a
bro.
drawback is you need a data plan, and I think that's usually like $100 a month. On
Mhm.
TradingView, you can get futures data. I think it's like $4 extra a month, but you're gonna have to pay up a little bit to get this futures data.
Oh, gotcha. So you got to pay. You definitely have to pay. Definitely, like
Pretty
you
good.
said, pay to play. Definitely have to pay to play for it for sure.
Hmm.
I mean, but
No
it
doubt.
definitely pays
But
out to
smaller
know. Yeah.
accounts, they're not completely out of luck. You
Mm.
can. Sorry, I'm lagging just
No,
a
Oh,
little
you're
bit,
oh,
good.
you're
You're
good,
good.
bro.
but you can trade micro futures.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you can trade micro futures, and those are 1/10 the size of the E-mini. So if you are interested in trading futures, you can trade MES or MNQ, and that's going to be 1/10 the size. So for every point that ES moves, you make or lose $50.
Mm.
But if you trade micros, you make or lose only $5. So
Okay.
that's just a low barrier to entry way to get started in futures. And if SPY or ES in this case rips 30, 40 points, you can still make decent money and
Yeah.
build your account up. And a benefit of this is there's no PDT, and not a lot of
Mhm.
people talk about that.
Oh. See,
That's
I didn't
smart.
even know
But
that.
that's
Yeah.
a
No, I didn't even know
double-edged
either.
sword.
Oh, for
Hmm.
sure. That's
Yeah.
No
that's
Yeah.
PDT,
overtraded
baby.
galore for someone with no discipline. Yeah. No doubt. See, I didn't know every
Yeah,
tick you get
and then
50.
the commissions are high.
Oh, are they?
Well, there are 4 ticks in a point,
Mm-hmm.
so $50 per point for ES.
Mhm.
All futures are going to be different.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
trade NQ, the Nasdaq,
Mm.
it's going to have a lot bigger price swings. So you can make a lot or lose a lot very
Oh,
Yeah.
quickly. I
yeah.
remember the first time I traded NQ, I was down like $900 in like 30 seconds. So
Yeah.
NQ is really not for the faint of heart.
Mm-mm. No.
Okay.
NQ will be up or down 300 points in a day, typically.
Yeah,
SPY, like,
it's got a
I'm sorry,
lot
the
of
ES,
price
ES
range.
today, I think it opened 44.80-ish, 85 or something like that, maybe 90. And then it ripped up to, I think it closed like 44.60-ish, 44.55. So, that's, 50, 60 points, 70 points in a day. So off 70 points, you make $50 a point
Hmm.
if you're trading.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, I don't
Yeah,
even
per
touch the
contract.
futures.
Per contract. Okay.
Yeah, that's good money
Yeah, it is.
per one contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But that's cool that
Yeah,
like
just
people
one
have
contract.
that have the ability to trade like a mini futures or like a one, so they can actually get started
Yeah,
into
just to
it.
get started. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Would you
that's
recommend any? Would you recommend personally? Because I don't think Justin and I have actually traded the future side. Would you recommend if someone was brand new to trading to hop in and go trade like a E mini or ES or NQ?
Someone who's brand spanking new, I'd probably say no.
yeah.
To be honest,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna say you need a little bit of screen time.
Definitely,
Nothing wrong with jumping in a sim account, which I
Yeah.
absolutely 100% recommend because
definitely.
these brokers, these platforms, Ninja Trader is a lot different than your Webull or your Robinhood. And you're gonna have to learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no, most def.
So what
paper trade,
yeah.
That's not talked about enough.
No.
yeah,
It's not sexy.
refine a
That's why.
strategy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
sexy. Not showing. Hey, look at all this like Monopoly money I made today. No one's gonna give a fuck about
Right.
that.
No, yeah, if people
And then
want, just the money now. They want to just like take picks and take trade alerts, and then they just want it now, but they don't want to actually learn a strategy so they
Mhm.
can fish on their own.
yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean, this is a marathon. It's
Mhm.
not a sprint. It's gonna take you years. It's gonna take
Yeah.
years.
Oh yeah,
There's no sugarcoating it.
Takes
It's
a
not
long
something
time.
you pick up overnight, in a week, in a month. No,
Mhm.
you gotta show up every day and give 100%. And you
You
gotta
gotta
have
tr- you
the
gotta treat it like
courage,
your true.
even when you
It's you got to treat
fail.
it like the true profession it is.
Mhm.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
they don't. People treat it like the goddamn casino, or like
Hmm.
I'll roll out of bed 2 minutes before open and just open up my computer and like, oh,
Yep.
somebody on
Start hitting
Twitter
buttons.
said buy fucking
BBIG at
Nvidia
250. Yeah.
PBIG or
Yeah.
EEI or some
Yeah.
fucking pump. I don't know. They
Mhm.
said go buy some shit like that, and you're like, okay, press the button, and
Yep.
But
then
now for someone with a little more experience, I would recommend trading futures because it will really drill into you risk management.
yeah, definitely.
People say, "Oh, I'm going to take SPY lottos here. I don't care if they go to zero." You can't do that in futures
Yeah.
Yeah, you
because
can't.
you can get margin called. If you let it
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
100
yeah.
points against you,
Mhm.
you're going to get wrecked.
Hmm.
So it really forces you to find those low risk, high reward setups, and to cut your losses quickly.
And it really makes you be a technical trader, right? I would say
Yeah,
really learn the technical
absolutely.
aspect of it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think this morning
Definitely.
we saw that, yesterday we've spent 3 days at this, sub 4,400, around 4,400, really, just like on
Hmm.
ES. And we've noticed like, yo, we can't get through this level to the downside. So it's likely we're going to have a day higher.
Yeah.
And,
Hmm.
if you are a technical person, like, a lot of us in our group is like, we're like, well, we've got a lot of big time moving averages above us that we're probably going to magnet to. So we kind of called like, yo,
Hmm.
we're going to go higher. We're definitely going to move higher today. How high? I don't know. But, all those people last week that just like their strategy is their bias. They probably got caught short in the hole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then got completely
Hmm.
fucking run the fuck back up today or margin call or whatever.
Yeah. Well, even today, we had a huge rip and run today.
Mhm.
I saw everyone on Twitter. They're just waiting to go short.
Yeah.
But we're
We're
climbing here. This is pretty strong. I don't know how I
I
feel
don't
about shorting this.
I wouldn't short yet. Me
right.
personally, I
Hmm.
mean, I'm a big 200-day moving average person, and I see that we're
Hmm.
still underneath it. On ES, on TOS at least, it's like 4480-ish, 4485.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking we at least probably try up to 4500 because everyone
Hmm.
Yeah.
keeps shorting too. Everyone keeps on fucking shorting. I mean, they're just gonna have to cover all the way up. That's what I
Yeah.
see personally.
Well, you
You
even
know,
saw they like baited a lot of people throughout the day too of like, oh, this is gonna drop, and then it just kept strong with the trend, and
Yeah.
a lot of people
well,
got clapped.
it
Yeah.
fucking went Ripper Magoo out of the gate. I
Mhm.
mean, it went.
Hmm. I missed it too.
I
I was
miss.
dumb.
Yeah. I think we all missed it.
It's funny because we had a bunch of people catch it, but me personally, I'm sitting there on live.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is probably gonna rip. Let me see what happens at
Just
like
went quick.
like 4,400. I was like 4415, 4420. I have is let's see what happens there. It was just like gone.
Yeah.
Like didn't
You're
even
right.
wait at it. Like hold my beer. I'm out of here. I was just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? And so I'm sitting there, and then it got up to like 4450 today. and it was just basing. It just started
Yeah.
basing all day long. Everyone's like,
Yeah, I caught the bull flag breakout, and
that's
I
what
Nice.
everybody
won
was
like
like, oh, it's
10
gonna
points
crater,
off
it's
that.
gonna crater, it's
Yeah.
gonna crater. I'm like, this is massive bullish consolidation. I'm like, what? I'm like, this
Right.
thing, it's gonna leg up. And I was like, watch, it's probably gonna give you a little dip down to like 44.35 and try to catch you off sides, and then it'll just rip it right up 30 points up. And literally it did that into the close, really.
See, when the price consolidates, that's actually a bullish sign because it's showing that buyers are actually holding the price up.
Exactly. I have a rule where if you'll know it's major resistance and a rejection because it bounces right off that level. Whether
Yeah,
it's support, whether it's resistance, it'll reject it quickly and drop, on ES, it'll really drop 20 to 25 points off that if it doesn't like the level. Same thing from a bounce. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like even down at like 44.60 to 44.80. I'm sorry, 43.60 to 43.80. It went down there. Every time it went down there, it fucking bounced out huge. So I was like, that's definitely. I was like, we're gonna consolidate. We're gonna consolidate. This shit's gonna rip higher, and it did in the end of the day. Now, we're curious. What would be your take on the earnings this afternoon with Netflix being
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what a dumpster fire! Man.
Yeah, it is.
See, since I mostly am a technical trader, I can't really tell you much about fundamentals. It's just not my area of expertise. But
Yeah.
Netflix had a really just like picture perfect descending triangle, and I was like, man, I just wish they tank on earnings. No offense to anyone, holding Netflix. And
yeah.
My IRA's gone.
Watch it. Let it burn.
For something like that, that happened with Facebook. Like massive gap down after earnings, and everyone in the group is like, "Oh, I'm buying the dip. I'm buying the dip." I'm like, "Why? What's the point?"
This is really 2 times in a row for Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is not fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
I think it's down like 57-60% on like the year.
Yeah.
Something like that is.
It was like
really
600, wasn't it? It was
almost close. Yeah, over
it
5.
Was way up there. The gap. Everyone's like, the gap to fill all the way up there at like 500.
Yeah, a bunch of furus.
Yeah,
I know. I was like, the chart is telling
they're
me
all
from
just
like the
selling
daily.
calls.
I'm like, there's a bunch of like support, but I'm like, yo, if you actually think about it, I'm like, if they did bad last earnings, and I'm like, economically, inflation is higher. I'm like economically, I'm like, it doesn't make sense for their business to grow, in my opinion.
Well, they lost a ton of subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's what Justin
subscribers. They're raising prices.
200,000. Something like
subscribers.
Last quarter.
And then they said they want to start charging people if you share your password. So they're just trying to they're pushing people away essentially at this point.
Right.
I feel like there's a lot of price gouging around the market though, like everywhere.
Yeah.
Price gouging by the gas stations, by hotels, airlines. Like, dude, they're all using inflation as part of like, let's just start driving up the prices like even higher. So I'm sure like
Dollar Tree is like $1.25 now.
Yeah, I know. I go there, it's like
BS, man.
I'm like this should be $2 tree, bro. And they sell it in like they'll sell it in like a pack, and it'll be like $3.99. At least I'm in California. I don't know where you're at, but everything's way more expensive in California, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Like, I just like, this doesn't make sense, Like,
absolutely.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, for something like that, you want to see price start to curl upwards. The EMA start kind of curling up. And you start, you don't want to buy the dip. You don't want to buy the crash. You want to buy the reversal.
Yeah.
If you are interested in that, because if you keep just averaging down, imagine if you bought the last dip, you're down, bad.
Yeah, you are.
And then people are just gonna stopped out.
Yeah,
more selling.
You're down real bad.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing to hit on because a lot of people want to buy the falling knife, but you need to find that confirmation on the reversal at least. Because even if you don't have to catch the absolute bottom, if you're catching a big move, just catching the confirmation is good enough to have a nice percentage gain on that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's FOMO too. Like you're FOMOing to a dip buy.
Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah.
But you have time. We're looking at daily charts here.
Yep,
exactly.
Well, and it usually will consolidate at least a little bit before we'll hit that reversal. So at least you have like at least a little bit of confirmation of like,
Mhm.
when it accumulates there after the big dip.
Yeah, let it base a little bit,
Hmm.
show that price can hold this level, that buyers are keeping it up.
Hmm.
But fundamentally,
Yeah.
not anything I'm
No,
interested.
no, no,
I,
absolutely
s-
not.
I
Not
s-
at this
It's
point.
Yeah, I speculate as about as much as I just gave on what we just went over. Like subscribers down, inflation up. I'm like, meh, doesn't sound like they're
uh,
growing that much. And to
Well,
me,
yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely going to be one of those
eh,
things that people are going to knock off paying because to save money for sure. There's going to be
oh
a
yeah,
subscription to like Netflix.
they'll forego that
Yeah.
expenditure.
Hmm.
You know,
yes. Well, I think Disney Plus, they're coming out with like Obi-Wan and Star Wars. Netflix can't compete with that.
No, they
yeah,
can't. They have the
true.
names for sure. Netflix is like B series on
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah. Then they, the one thing I noticed Netflix I see when I'm watching, it's like so many dubbed over shows. It seems like they're just
Mm,
taking all of
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of
the
those.
overseas stuff.
yeah.
Which to teach their
I
own, but
mean,
I'm with you, bro. I'm not really
they're
that big
good.
of a fan.
Yeah, I've heard they're good, but I can't do the dub. I'd have to
It
watch
it
it in the
it fucks with
original
me. Like when their mouth is
language.
moving and I can
Yeah.
Yeah.
hear and it's not, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. It's all weird.
Nah, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow we can watch for sympathies, like Roku,
Hmm.
Disney, stuff like that.
Got
So when you
Snap.
have like a big earnings, don't look to play the actual stock. You can look to play, because IV is going to be
Yeah.
Gonna
off the freaking
crush you.
charts. So you can look to play other stocks
Do you ever
within that
play?
sector.
Do you ever play like IV pumps on earnings, or do you kind of just stay away from that altogether?
I kind of just stay away from earnings. I mean, every now and then,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I mean, it's a
maybe
gamble,
gamble. It's
honestly. Yeah.
gambling,
No, it is.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And if
Yep.
I do, it's not going to be anything more than like 5 or 10% of like my day's profits.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like a
Absolutely.
couple contracts, and then kind of just for fun.
Yeah, but you're
Just like
using
that
you're
true
using
casino money.
profits. Yeah. Yeah, using
Yeah.
house money to play with to see.
Yeah, house money. That's
Mhm.
important. See, I saw the Netflix contracts. They were like $2,000. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
No, it's
good on that.
pricey.
No way.
Yeah.
10 points out the money is like $20. You're like, what the what? And then you're
Yeah.
like,
Way
like
too
50 points
pricey.
out is like $3. You're like, how the fuck? Like, what?
Yeah,
Who on
I'm
earth
good
would
on all
pay
that
this?
mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
worth it at
That's the
that
best
point.
time to go sell those contracts. If you could buy, if you own Netflix already, or you want to sell some covered calls, like to
Yeah.
take advantage of
Yeah.
the premium pump on it,
Mhm.
because tomorrow, even if the stock moved and you sold those cover calls, 50 to 100 points out, even if it moved 15, 20 points, like those are still going to be worth less, way less.
Absolutely.
You could buy them, or
Mhm.
you can, I guess, buy them back at a way lower price. So
Mm-hmm.
what's your
That's
thoughts
another
on?
thing. Oh,
Oh, go
what's
ahead.
up?
Go ahead.
Well, I think like everyone just thinks every play has to be an options play.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
you gambled shares overnight, you wouldn't be down, half as bad. 25% still sucks, but
True.
better than your entire 100% loss.
Yeah.
Man, and
No,
that's
for
what I'm
sure.
seeing is like people, whenever I talk about a play or anything, everybody's just like, oh, what contracts did you buy? Or what did you do this? And I'm like, it was a commons play. Like it doesn't even have options.
Yeah, you
And
could.
like, yeah, it's just
Right.
weird. Like, especially on Twitter nowadays, it's like people don't even know what like commons are anymore. It's like just
Yeah.
not a thing to trade
I've
anymore.
noticed that. I've definitely
It's
noticed.
weird.
Like comments play, and then I'll have
Yeah,
someone
like-
type like, "What are
Like, what?
comments?" I'm like,
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck?
I'm like,
Yeah, everybody's
Yeah.
playing options
"Common
See,
now.
shares."
The penny market kind of fell off, kind of like last year, and so
Yeah.
everyone kind of moved to options. See, I started out with penny stocks, but then
Same
I
here.
just saw penny stocks weren't
Shit,
they just
yeah.
weren't
Yeah.
really all that hot. So
Yeah.
you got to be able to adapt. So I started trading options, and then
Mhm.
just recently, a couple months ago, I got into futures trading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice.
Well, definitely, Justin. I know that the whole crackdown with like the OTC,
With the OTC, yeah,
there
more
was a lot of
strict.
regulations that came in, and I think a lot of those pennies are pretty much OTCs
Yeah.
for the
Mhm.
most part. So if you get hit with a lot of regulations, then I feel like half those companies get wiped from the exchange because
Yeah, because they can't manipulate like
meet.
they used to.
Yeah, you
It's
don't
like the
meet
Wild Wild
criteria.
West before.
So you can
Shit.
trade them. You just got to treat them for what they are.
Mhm.
Is it likely that they're going to be the next Amazon. Do they really have the cure for cancer?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah,
But,
true.
just trade the price action.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Do
it.
they really
Really.
cure baldness in monkeys?
Yeah.
Maybe they do. I don't know. Is that profitable? Who knows?
I know, yeah, a lot of people, yeah, like to, especially in the OTC, they become very cultish to the stock and like
Oh,
marry it like it
Mhm.
is like, oh no, this is gonna be next Amazon, and then they're like up. I see sometimes people be up like 200-300%, and they're like, I'm holding, and then they go
Yeah,
red
for
and just
what?
like bag hold, and it's like it's dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah, I mean, you got to scale those profits. I mean, if you're up 200, even if you're up like 50 or 60% on a commons play,
Oh,
there's
that's
no reason
insane.
you
Yeah.
shouldn't have sold some by now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
there's
tell
just
Justin, I'm like
absolutely no
10%.
excuse.
If you're up 10% on a commons play, that's a
Scale
win and a
something.
half. I'm like,
Yeah.
take that.
Oh, yeah.
20, 30,
That's
40,
nice.
50. It's like shit.
10% people like don't respect 10% gains anymore though.
That's you know
Like at
what?
all.
That's a
Yeah.
fallacy. That's like
Yeah.
that's the
It's all these
toxicity
Twitter guys.
of Twitter. Yeah, that's
And
what it
it's
is.
and it's really misleading because they may post 1,000% screenshot, but it's either one, a paper trade,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they weren't trading with their own money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or they sold most of it at 20-30%.
And then
Yeah.
one runner.
So
Yeah.
don't chase those 1,000% runners. That's not how real traders do business. Just
Mm-mm.
keep it consistent.
Yep.
If you're trading
Absolutely.
pennies, 5-10%, it's pretty sick. If you're trading
Yeah.
options, 20-30%, pretty nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We always talk about if you're on options and you got 10 contracts and you hit 30%, like bro, 8 of those contracts gone. Dude, those are
Yeah.
sold, and then
Mhm.
maybe you got 2 runners. At least you covered. You've made back your whole investment, and now look, that's sick.
Exactly.
If you got the freebies or the runners, whatever everyone calls them, if those shits go to 1,000%, that's fucking awesome. But like, bro, we want the base hits. I want to get on base. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
that home
exactly.
run, like you just think about the game of baseball, that home run doesn't matter if it's a solo home run. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You go get 100%,
Right.
like that's cool. But imagine if you had like 3 people on base and you hit like
Mhm.
Mhm.
30% consistently, and then you hit 1,000% bagger. You're like, oh shit. But you've just like been accumulating all this. Like that's how we talk about trading. Is like, bro, be good with the base hits. Scale out,
Exactly.
take all those base hits you can get, and the home runs come. The
They
home
do.
runs come, the
Mhm.
grand slams, they come, but they're few and far between to the actual base hits. So just take the base hits. Like
Absolutely.
that's the hardest thing to think. And there's like, there are great accounts on Twitter. Like there are a lot of great accounts, but there are equally
Yeah.
and probably even more worse accounts of people that definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we appreciate
Mhm.
you like being one of the real accounts out there that's actually
Yeah.
pushing like good education, not like, oh yeah, check my 1,000% runner, but like actual like how people
Right.
should trade,
That's the
'Cause
goal.
that's yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, because you see, I mean, my one thing is like you see all these people who take trade alerts, or you see people who post like these big gains, and I'm like, okay, well, are they rich? Do they ever claim that they're like a millionaire yet, or they made it, or financially free? Like you never see any of those people like ever become like financially free, or like they're constantly just like playing these big gains, but they're probably losing just as much at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
cool that
it's a tough industry out there right now.
yeah, it is.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah, a lot of these guys that are just, not who they say they are, not who they claim to be,
Mhm.
or they're teachers, but they're not successful themselves. They started trading during COVID,
Mhm.
Mhm.
or something like that. Everyone wants to be a guru, everyone wants to be the hot shot.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming to be the best. I'm just sharing what I found to be helpful in my journey.
Definitely.
And I think people appreciate that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, because you definitely come about it of like, here's information, like definitely more teacher than like look at me type of attitude.
I'm similar. I like to just give
Mhm.
information. Like, hey, this is what I look at. This is a strategy I use. This is what's I've been successful, but it's not the goated strategy. It's not the only strategy, and I'm not the only one that does it. And I didn't make it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've
Mhm.
learned it along the way from multiple different people and just kind of pieced my own special little niche or like actual strategy to myself, and like this is what helps me, this is how I'm successful. But I'm not on Twitter to be like, I'm the best, respect me, everybody follow me, blah 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 blah. It's like I'd rather just tweet
Yeah,
when I'm
500 likes for a play.
yeah. I've seen that.
I
You want
can't
the
stand
next
that.
you want the next 10,000 percenter? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
only
come on,
100
dropping
dude.
it.
retweets or whatever.
I'll
Yeah,
only
I've
drop
seen
it
those.
if you like it 1,000.
Yeah.
And then you look at the comments and be like, "This is down 90%, bro.
Yeah,
Should I
dude. Oh
sell?"
my god, you do though. You really do.
They were like Netflix calls on earnings.
Yeah.
That was the play.
Next lotto. Yeah. Fuck.
Oh my god. See,
Man.
there's nothing wrong with like having like a mentor,
Mhm.
watching what they're seeing in a trade, and if you agree with, their technical thesis, fundamental thesis, whatever, you can take the trade with them. But once you hit that buy button, that's your trade, that's your money.
Yeah, that's
So
another
you have to take responsibility for that. You don't have to wait for the exit signal. If you reach your profit target, just sell.
yeah.
Or if you reach max pain, just get rid of the thing.
Then you get out. Yeah.
Well,
That's
you want
another
it,
But the
thing too.
key is just to keep learning. You have to stay hungry.
well, because the market's always changing. So, like, if there's little tips or tricks that you can pick up from somebody who's like getting it or like is really good at knowing where the money is right now, then yeah, that's you definitely have to always keep learning and keep on your A game.
And like a thing that I see is like people will have like their one guru or furu or whatever, and then
Mhm.
they'll follow them, trade for trade, play by play. But then that person, maybe they don't have the hottest week, so they
Yeah.
think, all right, well, I'll switch to this other guy
Yeah.
who's got a completely different strategy, and then I'll just lose money with him, and then I'll
Yeah.
lose money with another guy,
Yeah.
and then you didn't really learn anything in the process. You just picked up bad habits.
Those are the easiest people to see. It's very evident
Man.
when somebody's just they're just searching for handouts. They're just hopping from either one community to the next, one person to the next.
Yeah.
They're just one to
Oh, they
one.
were in this Discord this week. They're in this
Yeah.
Discord
I
this
came
week.
from. I've been in. I've seen that. I've been in 7 discords,
Yeah.
and I can't stop losing money. I'm like, well, I'm like,
And then
you
they're
know.
all like, I need 1,000% play. And you're like,
Oh,
okay, well,
God.
now we know why. You just
Yeah,
keep
now we know why
losing.
you're a fucking gambler.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you're not a
exactly.
trader. You're just coming
Yeah.
in. No, that's
Mhm.
it. They stick out like a sore thumb. Those people, and they're
Yeah.
cancerous to communities because they are actually, they actually are a bad habit or a cancer. That
Mhm.
type of
Mhm.
culture that they would bring in, as far as like no accountability for themselves, no discipline to actually learn a strategy, no
Mhm.
discipline to have an exit point, right? To have their risk tolerance defined. They're going to come in, and the moment one trade goes bad, because we all lose a trade, no one's
Absolutely.
perfect, then automatically it's blame you. And it's never me. It's never their
Mhm.
fault. And then they'll just be cancerous and just saying like, oh, this sucks. These people suck, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well,
Mhm.
it was
I think most of us were guilty of it. Most of us when we started out, we probably took alerts or trade
oh yeah.
ideas
Oh,
from other
absolutely.
people. But I think eventually, you lose enough money or you get humbled to the point where you say, okay, enough is enough. Let's open a book. Let's get on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's figure this shit out.
YouTube university, dude.
Yeah.
YouTube university. That's
all
what
that
it is.
information is out there. It's all
Mhm.
free.
I mean, yeah, now more than ever, for sure. Like
Now
the
it's
information
crazy.
is there.
This is the age of information, bro. I mean, the amount of
Absolutely.
there are great people on YouTube doing it for completely free.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I remember when I was learning to set up my TOS, bro. There was a time there were all of my suggested searches or just like video, like the here's your suggested videos, bro. It was like so many different like how to set up my TOS and like
Yeah,
just
it's
different
terrible.
setup videos, like how to like set up your active trader. And there was like I watched probably hours worth just to figure it out because it's
Yeah,
complex
you've
as
got
fuck.
to.
It's
Yeah,
Mhm.
very
you do.
complex. When you get in and you see a software like that and you've never been like a technical person, you're like, whoa,
Mhm.
you don't realize how
That's how
powerful
Ninja
it is.
Trader is.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Ninja Trader like, is it a prop firm or is that something completely
That is
separate?
it's just like the software you use to trade.
Okay,
So
cool.
every prop firm, for futures at least, they're going to say you can either use Ninja Trader or maybe a couple other ones that aren't as popular, but usually they recommend Ninja Trader because that's like the top dog.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. So, do you prop firm trade or that's
Yeah.
just yeah, okay. Can you explain
So
talk about that a little bit just for people who don't
Yeah,
know?
I don't think a
yeah.
lot of people
So
really know what that
Yeah.
is.
so prop firm trading is where you take an evaluation with a company, a prop firm, and usually it's like make X amount in X amount of days, with X amount daily loss.
Mm-hmm.
And if you pass, they will give you funds to trade with.
Okay.
And it's usually, a lot of money. You can do anywhere from, a $25,000 account up to all the way up to like, a $500,000 account.
Okay.
And it's a good option for people who are, maybe not in a good, place financially to fund their own account.
Yeah.
And you have the opportunity to make some serious money and learn about risk management, learn how to trade, find those low risk, high reward setups, and follow their own rules. Because when you are trading for a firm, you have no choice but to follow risk rules.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you lose the account.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
another thing about prop firms is you pay to take the evaluation, but max pain, say you do get funded and you lose $4,000, you lose
Mm.
the account. You only lose the money you paid to take the evaluation. The prop
Okay.
firm,
Okay.
will take the hit, so you don't owe them any money. They're not going to be knocking at your door. Where's my money?
Okay.
So it's a low risk way to get started into futures trading. I
Okay.
recommend it for futures trading. I think some, and you have to be careful because a lot of them they just want your fees. So if you
Okay.
break a rule, you have to reset. You have to pay them, $100 or whatever.
Yeah.
You break the daily loss limit,
Yeah.
you lose. So they're going to start over and over. But that's better than losing, your whole life
Account,
savings.
personal account. Yeah,
Yeah, your
yeah,
own
yeah.
personal
Mhm.
account. And so, we all need emotions to trade with. You can't trade without emotions. And, paper trading doesn't really do that.
Yeah.
But
This is like
actual trading a live account, you trade with emotions definitely, but if you lose, that's a whole lot of risk. But this is like a good middle ground. You're definitely going to trade with emotions. You're going to be pissed if you lose the $100 you paid to take the evaluation. Trust me, I've done it.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be as mad, as if you lose $25,000 of your own money.
Yeah,
So it's a
yeah, yeah.
good middle ground. And then
okay.
some of them have some crazy rules, and some of them are better than others. I'm currently in Earn to Trade,
Mhm.
and they have a trader career path. So you start with $25,000. You have to make X amount of dollars in minimum days, 15 days. I think it's like 1,700.
Okay.
And then you get into a live account, $25,000 live account.
Mhm.
And then when you withdraw a certain amount, you get upgraded to a 50K account.
Mm.
You hit a certain amount, you get a 100K account, all the
Okay.
way up to 200K account.
Oh wow.
And then with futures, 200K account, it's way more than you need. You can trade like 10, 15 contracts, which is don't recommend. That'd be, insanity.
You'll be bald very quickly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're not by any means easy to pass, but they will drill down risk management. And I think, do some research on some programs. Some of them have like a really tight loss limit that I really don't like, but this is a good way to maybe fund your own account. You hit it big, make 20, 30,000, fund your own account, and then who
Yeah.
cares what happens to the funded account?
What's the type of spread? Like what's yours to keep? What goes back to the house? Let's say
Oh
you
yeah,
start
that's
let's
a
say you
good
start with a
question.
25K account.
So with Earn to Trade, some of them are different, but
Mhm.
with Earn to Trade, the one that I'm with is 80-20. So you keep 80%, they keep 20.
That's not bad
Which
Whoa.
at
I
all.
mean, if they're giving you 6 figures to trade with, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Jesus Christ. I
See,
mean that
I would think it'd be like more the other way where the house
I
gets
I
more.
legit I was just
Mhm.
about to think what Justin was saying, bro. They probably could take 80 and say, here's 20.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's Jesus Christ.
That's a pretty good deal, honestly. And like you said,
Yeah,
like
it's
the
not bad.
risk, yeah, like, no, it's
Fuck.
good because you only risk like that fee that you pay versus like if you really
Yeah.
lost 4,000 on your account, you really lost 4,000 on your account
Mhm.
versus just a
Mhm.
$100 fee. So that's honestly something that's pretty cool that I think a lot of people should look into that at least as an option. That's
Yeah, go look at Earn to Trade Trader Career Path. It's definitely an
Earn to
interesting option.
trade.
They're one of the OG prop firms,
They've been
okay.
them and
around.
Top Step. So they've been around, they have the reputation.
Hmm.
They're not it's not a scam or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's
Earn to
not an easy
trade is
path.
it
Don't
like
think
EAR and then like the number 2 or like EARN and then TO trade T
Top
like
Step I think is the number one, but their loss rules are way too tight for me.
Hmm. Okay,
okay.
cool.
Like if 50,000 account, most you can lose is like $1,000 in a day or something. Like
Yeah, that's hard.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, it's too
barely
it's
any room
very
to work
strict.
with.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And then here's the thing that gets people. It's called the trailing drawdown. And
Okay.
this can screw a lot of people, so I'll explain it. So your trailing drawdown is the minimum balance that your account can be at, but
Okay.
it trails your wins. So say
Mhm.
you have a $3,000 drawdown on a 50K account.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the minimum balance your account can be is 47,000. Say you make $3,000 in profit. Now your new trailing drawdown minimum balance is 50K. So that's always going to
Oh,
trail you.
well, that
But now
sucks.
here's the kicker. It considers open profits.
Oh man.
So say you hit big on a trade, say you make 6K on a trade,
Mhm.
and then that brings your trailing drawdown up.
Yeah.
But you didn't take profits on that 6K trade. You let it go against you 3K. So you made 3,000 profit, but you let it go 3K against you from the 6. You
Mm.
just lost.
Oh, they're gonna hit your trailing. That oh shit,
Yeah.
because it's 3. Damn.
Mhm.
Damn.
So that's just
Okay.
not all prop firms have that, but most of them do, to be honest.
Okay.
Trailing
Yeah.
drawdown.
Okay. So that's
See, with
something
like
to
earn
watch
and
out
trade,
for.
I believe that it only trails you up to the balance that you start
Okay.
with. So if you have a 100K account, then once you reach your trailing drawdown like 106,000 or whatever, then I think the trailing drawdown stops. I don't know, don't quote me on that, but here's the thing, the thing you aim for with the trader career path, it's the 200K account, but it has a 194K fixed drawdown.
Mm.
So it's not going to trail you or anything. The minimum law balance your account can be is 194. It's just getting to that point.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is a
definitely.
struggle. No, I can
Mhm.
imagine. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you have to get to 200,000.
Damn,
Yeah.
80-20. Fuck.
That's not a bad deal.
I want to look into
Yeah.
it.
And then if you think, ES moves 50 points per point, and you
Yeah.
have, 4 contracts open, you can
Yeah.
scout for, $1,000, $2,000 all day long.
Mhm. Oh,
Yeah.
easy.
And
Yeah,
then you build
easy.
your own account, put that in, whatever investments,
Yeah, yeah,
mainstay,
yeah.
whatever, options account, whatever, long term
Mhm.
portfolio.
Do you have like an affiliate link or
Yeah, I do. I
okay,
can
cool.
post that
Perfect. We'll get that
Oh
from you
yeah.
and then we'll post it in the
You'll post
description
in
in the
the
comments for you.
description.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay,
On
awesome.
this episode.
Earn to
Yeah.
trade,
Cool.
dude.
Yeah,
That's
it's $115 to take it this month,
Okay, cool.
oh, that's
and
not
it's
bad.
that's on a discount.
Yeah. No,
Damn,
that's
that's
not bad. I
awesome.
mean, that's you explained it well. I think that'll get a lot of people's interest for sure into that. Because I've heard people talk about prop firms and stuff, and I understood the basic idea of it, but that's I mean, something like an 80-20 split on something that's not your money is not a bad deal.
That's
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
I feel like definitely getting the bigger end of the
Exactly.
stick there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah, and
sure.
if there's one thing I could recommend, it's futures. Don't just like deep dive like right into it.
Mhm.
Mm.
Paper trade it first. Become familiar with your broker
Okay.
or the Ninja Trader platform, because anytime that I failed, It's because of a stupid user error that I didn't know
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
doing with the platform.
definitely. No, I hear that.
See, like my order wasn't going through, so I kept clicking and clicking and clicking, like just freaking go through. And then all of a sudden, I'm short 60 NASDAQ contracts, and then they're like, boom, fail,
Yeah.
fail.
And you're gone. Yeah.
Yep.
In the
See you
shit.
later.
No
No,
doubt.
but
All right.
yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking to us. We learned a lot.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's cool. I think this episode will be good for people who trade futures, learn a little about prop firm trading.
Yeah, bro.
Is
I
there,
learned a lot. Shit,
yeah,
man.
no, this is
I
probably
knew
the
that-
one we learned the most on, honestly,
Yeah.
so far.
Oh yeah.
prop
Yeah,
trading.
so
That's
thank you.
That's awesome. I mean, I always knew there was funded trading. I just didn't know the name was prop trading. So that's cool. And I'd like to know the type of spread that you can make. And if you're a good trader, like, why not go leverage someone else's money to make you a ton of money? Like,
Yeah. And I know people, let me just cover this real quick because I know
Yeah.
people will ask,
Absolutely.
there aren't really, I mean, there are prop firms for stocks, but you need a license to trade those.
Mm.
You need a professional license. So no one's just going to give you money to trade stocks. I wish we could all have, funded options account, but
that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
if you were a firm, would you give people money to trade options with?
No, hell
No.
no. Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
You
So
can only
yeah, to
trade
clarify,
futures
guys, what he's talking about
Forex
is futures,
or crypto.
futures contracts.
Yep.
For the market. So not, you're not gonna be able to go buy Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be playing, NQ, ES, I think DJI. Can you futures trade DJI, the Dow?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the futures traders call it the yummy because it's
The
the
yummy.
YM.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's /YM. That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
And
That's
then
right.
you can trade IWM, which is RJY
Yeah.
or RTY. I don't trade it. It's one of those, somewhere in there.
It's
Rudy.
another one that you can get on. Yeah.
I think it's people call it Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old Rudy RTY.
Yeah, and if
the
you
Russell-
trade
the Russell
SPY,
Index.
QQQ, same thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Damn, that's awesome, bro. Well, I appreciate. I guess we'll ask you for one more thing from a technical standpoint. You were talking about Netflix today, the descending triangle. I think 420 is, the infamous Elon Musk earnings day for Tesla.
Oh,
Have you looked at a chart or anything? This is not
Ooh.
financial advice, everybody, but have you seen anything that you like with that as far as, then maybe we can add each other on Twitter and talk about it after the fact. We give some predictions here.
Just look at the chart real
really
quick.
fast.
He's pulling it up. Yeah, let me take a look.
No,
I
know.
haven't even looked at it today. So
I know.
You
When you ask a technical trader like a question like that, they're always like, "Nah, let me look at the chart real quick
yeah,
before I give you my answer."
yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Honestly, to be honest, I'm gonna look like an idiot, if I'm wrong, but I think this thing can rip. If the earnings are good, we got like a falling wedge kind of deal here.
I did
Okay.
notice that. Like it's almost in a flag.
Yeah.
From that.
Yeah, it's got like this flag kind of formation. If earnings
We'll
are
see.
good, bust.
There's a lot of
hits us.
speculation about this whole Twitter bid thing, and
Yeah,
Elon's going to try
I'm
to run up
good
the
on it.
price. He's
like,
going to
I'm
run up the
good.
price so he can make a bigger bid offer. All this. I'm just going whatever. So it's going to rip. It's going to rip. I'm like, yeah, you
Yeah.
go buy your $1,500, call contracts. 400 points out the money. Let me know how that goes.
Yeah, I'm
you're
good
probably
on
gonna
all
get
that.
crushed. Yeah, have fun with that. That'll be for you, no doubt. Well, you heard it here, guys. It's either gonna rip or we're not gonna post the podcast. So we'll figure out what happens.
Awesome.
No
Just
doubt.
thank
Any
you,
last words for anybody, bro?
Invest to change lives, never
There
for
you go.
greed.
There you go.
You say
Said it from Stockrateez.
mic drop, baby. Guys,
Awesome.
follow Socrates. You'll see his tag on the screen. Hey, bro,
Yep.
thank you so much for coming out. It was an honor. Justin, you want to wrap it up,
Absolutely.
bro? That's all I got, man.
I think that'll be it. We'll see you next time on another Wolf Talk. The Wolves are out.